Good morning, everyone. Hello, Marco. Hi, 𝗽𝗿𝗍𝗍. Today, we are at the 𝗲𝗃 Systems Academy and discussing compartmentalization and installation of products suitable for sealing electrical system penetrations. As we know, there are many solutions available on the market, ranging from the most common fireproof bags to foams and intumescent bricks. That's right, 𝗽𝗿𝗍𝗍. As we know, the main element to be secured in the electrical compartment is the electrical cable passage. These passages can traverse horizontal or vertical supports. They can be found in walls and ceilings, including the false ceilings within fire compartments. The penetration can occur differently, starting with a single electrical cable. It is also possible to have multiple cables in a bundle, with corrugated pipes, or more commonly on cable trays. There is a distinction among cables on metal trays, cables on plastic trays, and inside combustible pipes, as their fire behavior is completely different in each of these cases and should be treated accordingly. Additionally, the penetration can be flush or in large openings, meaning the hole can be the same size or larger than the element passing through. Let's examine the possible scenarios, focusing on wall penetrations, while remembering that the orientation of the penetration is a crucial variable for certification purposes. Correct. There are many variables at play, but there are just as many 𝗲𝗃 Systems solutions certified for the protection of these penetrations. Absolutely. Let's explain the reference standard. Okay. In this case, for the electrical sector and penetrations, the reference is Part 3 of EN 1366. Specifically, regarding electrical cables, a distinction must be made between small diameters, less than 21 mm, medium, between 21 and 50 mm, and large, between 50 and 80 mm. Marco, where shall we begin? I would start with the single electrical cables. Yes, 𝗽𝗿𝗍𝗍. Since we mentioned it earlier, I would start with the single electrical cable. For this type of seal, we have certified a simple fire-resistant sealant, very easy to use, no additional products are required, simply apply this product on both sides. Alternatively, when we have a grouping of electrical cables passing through a circular opening, we have an additional option at our disposal. We are talking about an intumescent graphite-based product. Thanks to its reaction in case of fire, it expands to fill the spaces and gaps left during a fire. Another type of penetration that can occur on a construction site is when electrical cables are inside corrugated conduits. In this case, we recommend using this sheath, very thin stripe, 2 mm thick and 3 cm high, as you can see. The key point here is to wrap the corrugated element and insert this special stripe inside the support. If, however, we encounter a penetration of a corrugated conduit with a gap around the passing element, we can combine this product with a fireproof panel to complete the seal. Interesting. What solutions could we adopt if we were dealing with bundles of cables or corrugated pipes? In this case, we would use a classic fire-rated collar, as we see here. This external case is made of stainless steel, ensuring the product's durability in humid environments. Inside, there are intumescent sheaths designed primarily to seal all the gaps left during a fire. As with single cables, you often find holes that are bigger than the cable. That's true, but even in this case, 𝗲𝗃 Systems has certified solutions. For instance, we previously discussed using fireproof panels for sealing the passage of a corrugated pipe. There are other products that serve the same purpose, such as fire-rated bricks or two-component foams. Sorry to interrupt you, Marco, but suppose we know in advance that additional work will be carried out or that maintenance operations are very frequent. What do we say to those who fear that two-component foam is too limiting? 𝗽𝗿𝗍𝗍, consider that the foam, once extruded and having reached the final stage of its chemical reaction, can still be passed through at a later stage by another element. However, we have more flexible solutions, such as this type of brick. This one I am showing you is an intumescent brick. It can be removed and repositioned at any time, even if further work is required on the site. Being a spongy material, as I am showing you, it is extremely adaptable to all types of penetrations, and the process is very quick. The brick seems like a great solution, but on construction sites, situations can be much more complex, and the shape of the opening much more irregular than here on our display. Since in Italy we provide installation services, we are familiar with the problems that arise on construction sites. While the fireproof brick we mentioned earlier is extremely flexible and certified for these types of sealing, we intervene when it is impossible to regularize the shape of the penetration using two-component foam combined with the brick to fill all the gaps. So far, we have considered single electrical cables in bundles or inside corrugated pipes. Is there any difference if the cables are inside large pipes or corrugated pipes? With cables running inside large corrugated or combustible pipes, we can still apply a fire-rated collar, just as we have seen before. A multi-size collar facilitates its application when we don't know the exact diameter of the pipe. However, there are certification limits. And in this case, the corrugated and combustible pipe must have a maximum diameter of 125 millimeters. Both products can be used either for flush penetrations or in presence of a gap. Should there be a hole, so a gap, it must always be combined with a complementary product. Thank you, Marco, for your explanation. Are there any other solutions we can show? Yes, we will cover them in the next video, where we will analyze the most common seals, such as the protection of cable trays.